The amateur asks, what do I say? The professional asks, who do I have to be? So I asked once, what do I say in this situation? How do I handle this? I needed specifics. And this wise older man told me, it's not specifically about the thing that you say in each and every little circumstance, because I can't be there to guide you through each and every little situation that's going to come up. But I can tell you that it's about who you are and the framework that you're coming from. And that's what we're going to talk about today is how can you change your mindset and the way that you view the world in order to show up as the person that you need to be in order to change things for yourself. So you have to change who you are in order to have the things that you want, because the person you are now has only gotten you to where you are now. But that is not the same person that's going to get you to where you want to be. You have to change. You have to, just like an athlete, you have to work out more, build those muscles. So it might be building a mental muscle. It might be building a personality trait muscle. It might be we're working on your confidence or your speaking skills or your knowledge, or working on just the way that you see things and how you view each and every situation you come into. So that's what we're going to talk about today is how do you change your mindset framework and your perspective of the world and change who you are in order to show up as the person that you is your ideal self, to have the ideal life. My name's Lauren Jane, and I teach people how to streamline and align their life. I wanted to live this life where I got to wear what I wanted. I loved my work. I loved each and every day that I had relationships that were good, someone to love and a family to grow. And I kept thinking that would happen one day, but then I realized if I wasn't doing anything about it, nothing was ever going to change. I kept working at jobs I hated, with bosses I hated, and I wore clothes and uniforms I hated, and it just wasn't ever going to change unless I actually started to make changes in my life. Now I have a career I love. I get to do what I want every day. I have people flying from all over the world to come to sunny Florida and get to learn how to relax and to live their life in a better way, how to reach their goals, how to streamline and align their life. And what does that mean to streamline and align? Streamlining, you think of like a fast car, like the lotus is a perfect example, because the lotus as a flower represents coming from the murky bottom of the lake into the sunlight and emerging. So a lot of people use lotus flowers as a representation of rebirth and renew and life and going through hard times to get to the good times. So the Lotus car is a fast sports car, and it's a perfect example of something that is very streamlined. The chassis, the structure of it is very balanced. They made it as lightweight and as like quick as it could possibly be, even though it actually has, I believe, like a normal engine in it. It's able to go, I think it was up to 180 miles an hour. And so streamlining yourself, your body, your mind, your soul, everything about you is about becoming more balanced and about having that speed. Even though we're all built with the same parts, it's how are we using it? How are we using our minds? What are we thinking? What are we putting in our bodies? Coming to life with a whole new structure and mindset, and being that fast sports car, being aerodynamic. And a fast sports car, it's not just going with the flow, it's going against the air resistance, but it's doing it with as little resistance as possible. So that's what streamlining is. When you are moving forwards and you might be pushing against something like the air, like the hard things in your life, but you're doing it as streamlined, as aerodynamic as possible, because you are taking care of your body and your mind and your soul. So that is what being streamlined is. And being aligned is making sure that what you do every day is in alignment with your belief and your values. So if you're going to a job that you hate every day, and you are surrounding yourself with people that just are sucking your energy and making you unhappy, then you're not in alignment. And you're either going to give up and just give in and change who you are for the worse and to just taking whatever life gives you, or you're going to get fed up and you're going to quit your job and you're going to change your life. So you either give in and just change to mold to your surroundings because they win. You either just let them win, or you win because you reach for your dreams. So when you're living a streamlined and aligned life, you are as balanced as possible. You are moving forward towards your goals as quickly and easily as possible. And you're going to have challenges. We all do. That is what life is about. You have challenges, and it's beautiful because it helps you to level up and something hard comes your way. But it's how do you handle it? How are you reacting to the challenges? And do you have a positive mindset? Do you have the tools in your toolbox to handle each and every challenge as it comes so that you can level up, you can handle that challenge as best as you can? And then are you being aligned? So are you living your beliefs and your values and truly living a life you can be proud of and leaving a legacy and showing your children that this is how to live your best life? So I want you to know that life can either happen to you or through you. It's about your perspective of, are you a victim or are you a creator? A victim sees life as happening to them and that everything is out of their control and it's just coming from that victim mentality. Whereas a creator says, yes, there are things I can't control. Yes, there are going to be situations and circumstances, but how do I handle them? How do I create the life that I want? That you can have that creator mentality. So instead of having life happen to you, you let life happen through you. Once you take your power back and you feel the sense of self-empowerment, you will start realizing that you are in control of your life, and although there's going to be things that you can't control, that you are moving through it just seamlessly and gliding through life, and good things start happening, and you start having a positive mindset, and you start surrounding yourself with positive people, and you are actually going up and ascending the mountain to your goals and reaching those dreams of yours. How do I know it's true? Because I've gone through some really hard things in life and I've come out on the other side, and I am so much happier now. I love the relationship I'm in. I love the life that I live. I love my job. I love the direction that I'm going, and I keep reaching goals and setting new ones, and it's all part of the journey. So I'm not, at the mountaintop, but I am climbing this mountain, and I am much happier than I ever was, even though I've been through these hard things. So I'll share with you my story so that you understand. I started out with a happy little childhood, 2 loving parents, a brother, in the suburbs of America. I really had like a Norman Rockwell style life of just a happy childhood. But as life went on, things happened. By the age of 29, I was already married and divorced. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and the way that I found out was that half of my body was paralyzed. I couldn't really speak or think clearly. I couldn't walk. I couldn't even write with my hand. I couldn't hold a cup of coffee or brush my teeth. It was a very terrifying experience, and I thankfully got my abilities back. And then I also had been to 5 funerals, and I was sitting in the front row for each one of those funerals, including my one and only brother. And I have gotten through. I've gotten through all of those hard things. And if I can do it, I know that you can. But I know that sometimes it takes going through the hard time and you have to recover. But you have to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And if I got to the end of that tunnel and I saw that light and I found happiness again, if I am able to smile at all after all of those things, then I know you can too. So this whole summit is about resilience and about being that lotus that comes out from the muck and the mud and the dirt and blooms on top of the water. And I know that you guys can do that too. I know that each and every one of you have the power to overcome whatever obstacle it is that you are facing. Maybe it's family or friends. Maybe it's not having enough money. Maybe it's that you're too shy to go out there and do the thing you want to do. We all have different blocks and obstacles, but it takes changing ourselves to get through them. So what did I do when I was going through all those different hard times that got me to where I am now? Everything I went through, it could have just taken me down. I could have just let life win and just stay in a deep, dark depression, but I didn't. I realized one day that my brother no longer was here, and I needed to live life for him, in respect to him, in respect to what he no longer had. I need to live the best life I possibly could and make him really proud. And I appreciate every darn day because of that. And I realize it's all about being happy, living and loving and being with people that you love, and not hating your job, not hating the moment you wake up and thinking about the things you have to do. So I started to take back my power. How can I make my life the way I want it to be? How can I live my best life? And that's when things started changing. I met the man that is the man of my dreams and that I love and that I'm with today. I started upgrading my environment, the people that I'm around, the way that I treated my body, my exercise and my health, what I put into my body for food and diet. I upgraded my mindset, and I used to have a poor money mindset. I didn't even know what a money mindset was. But when I started upgrading it, I started realizing that my whole life was changing, and it was all in my head because I wasn't working on myself before. I wasn't trying to improve things in my life. But once I started taking back the control and being self-empowered and knowing that I am a creator, not a victim, that's when things started changing. So what can you do to start streamlining your life and start reaching your goals? Well, first you have to know what it is that you want. You have to know where you are now and where you're going. I mean, if you're going to put into a GPS where you want to go in your Lotus sports car, you have to know where you're starting and you have to know where you're going for it to give you the path. So I want you to get super, super specific on what your goals are. I personally wrote down exactly what I wanted to do every day from the moment I woke up to what was I going to eat for breakfast, what would I do before lunch, where would I eat lunch, who would I sit with, and what would we talk about? Would I be going somewhere else to work, or would I work from home? I thought about every little minute of the day and what was I going to fill it with on my ideal day. I thought about where would I travel to. I would love to go to the Eiffel Tower. So I even made a painting with the Eiffel Tower, and I pictured myself eating a croissant. But I took it further than that. I looked up the hotel I'm going to stay at in Paris. I looked up where is the place I'm going to get the croissant? What's the actual cafe and restaurant name? And where is it? And in the Louvre, if I want to see the Mona Lisa, exactly which wing is the Mona Lisa in? And I recorded all that. I put it in an Evernote file so that I can actually look at it. I'm making it real. I'm making it attainable goals that are very clear and specific. And now I know all I have to do is I have to purchase that airline ticket that I know how much it costs. And then I have to land in that airport and go to that hotel. And I know the exact destination, and now I can make that path. So I want you to set down all of your goals, make them as specific as possible. Where exactly are you going? What do you want? How much money do you want to make? Get so crazy specific, you just never even thought you'd be so crystal clear. And then I want you to start removing the toxic things from your environment. If you have friends that don't believe in your goals, if they don't have your best interest in mind, start limiting your time with them. Same with family members. You might have to just limit what you talk to them about or cut them out of your life completely if you have to. But you cannot have people that are sucking your energy, people that you're fighting with, people that are negative in your world, or it's going to affect you. And same with your physical space. So make sure that you are making your bed in the morning, that you are cleaning your dishes and cleaning your house. Keeping a clean, safe environment is going to affect you mentally. Everything is connected. It is a holistic view of life that we're talking about here. So how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you don't get to the dishes for a week, you let them pile up, that's how you're handling your relationships, your business, everything in your life. If I used to procrastinate on a lot of things, or I do things halfway. I wouldn't do it all the way. It's like putting tape on something when maybe you should glue it. And that tape's going to fall off, and then it's just going to need to be done again. So now I start to do things the right way the first time. And I am reaping the benefits. I feel so much better when I just do it the right way the first time. So whatever your Your thing is a weakness. Start building the strength on it. It's a muscle. Start building it up, and you will see it will get easier to be the person that you want to be, getting things done. But make sure that your environment is a healthy, happy, positive one. You're listening to positive music. You are not watching violent things that are going to affect your psyche. Being very aware of the energy that you surround yourself with. If you're smoking or drinking to excess, if you're doing drugs, if you're eating fast food, eating lots of sugar, things like that, it's going to affect your body. So you need to start viewing your body as your temple. And how would you treat your temple? You only get one body while you're here. So make it the best. I mean, if you have this fancy sports car, are you going to throw, some Pepsi and some burgers into the gas tank and throw in some cigarettes, things like that? No, you're going to put the nicest high octane oil or whatever with the fuel, and you're not going to throw trash in the back seat. You're going to take care of that car. You're not going to go mudding. You're going to keep the car nice and shiny and clean. So why don't you treat your body that way? Treat your life that way. Give yourself only the best, because you deserve it. You deserve the best. And if you don't believe that you deserve the best, you need to start moving towards believing that. And when you show yourself that you care about yourself, if someone compliments you, accept it. It is so hard when I hear people that are told that they're beautiful or they're great or they're wonderful, and they can't accept the compliment and think, no, I'm ugly. I'm old, or whatever it is. I mean, if you're not letting that in, you're not accepting it and being grateful and not being, snobby about it, but you got to let it in and believe that you are worth it. You deserve to have good things happen to you, good things in your life, good people around you. You deserve these things. And if you don't think that you deserve it, you need to start working towards that. What is it that you can cut out that maybe you're doing something that you feel like isn't quite right? What can you change in your life that will make you feel like you deserve these good things? The next thing is to work on your money mindset. So I didn't even know what a money mindset was before, but I didn't realize I was pushing away the very thing that I wanted. And I went through times where I was in the grocery store adding up, how much will this cost? How many things can I get? And how long will this last me? And it's painful. And I never want to experience that again. I wasn't charging enough for my time. I didn't value my time enough. I didn't get the game. I didn't get how much other people were making. And I didn't get that I could ask for more. I could ask for what I deserved. I just took what people were willing to give me, and I charged what I thought I would pay, not what people are really truly willing to pay for things. I kept undervaluing myself and undervaluing my time, and then I would complain that I didn't have enough money. And I didn't realize it was my own fault, that I was pushing it away, that I wasn't accepting it in, I wasn't being open to it. So the more that I just realized that I do deserve to charge a fair amount for my time, and I do deserve to be able to have some nice things, then I started to see more coming in. I make more money than I ever did before, and I know it will only grow exponentially, but that's because I changed my expectations, I changed my mindset, I changed what I was allowing into my life. I started letting it flow in and flow out. I have to pay a bill. Oh, okay. Well, instead of complaining about it, instead of being upset that I had to pay a bill, I just said, okay, here's the money. I'm grateful for the service or the item or whatever it is that I'm getting in exchange for that bill. And that it is something that is enriching my life. So it is an investment. If it's the internet for my, the Wi-Fi, thank you. Now I have Wi-Fi when I'm at home. That is something great. I will gratefully give you that money in exchange for this service that you're providing, instead of viewing it as a negative thing. And then I just would see it flow in, and someone else was grateful for the service that I would provide. Because the more that you have the negative mindset around it, it makes everything tension, friction, not in flow, not being aerodynamic and streamlined. So you want to keep everything in a nice flow and moving forwards and aerodynamic. You want to be careful about the different sayings that you and people around you just say all the time and you take for granted. You don't even hear it. saying things like, the struggle is real. The struggle isn't real. It's real if you make it real. It's in your perspective. So saying things like the struggle is real is going to negatively get into the back of your mind, and it's just going to make you think that that's just how it is. You know, money doesn't grow on trees, or the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, things like that. Well, taking responsibility for your life and for what you are doing with it, it's going to start changing those things. And then you're going to realize you're not a victim of how much money you have, that you are empowered to go out and change things. And you're not a tree. You can move, you can change things. You don't have to stay exactly where you are in your financial status, in your emotions, in your location. You can change because you are a dynamic human being. You have the ability to change who you are, what you do, how your life is, what your story is. You are writing this book. You know, one page at a time, one chapter at a time, you are writing your book. What book do you want to read? How do you want it to end? You can't maybe change the past pages. The chapters that happened already happened. But what are you going to do with the next few pages? Finally, all of this is holistically adding up to changing who you are and how your life is. But you have to do a little bit more to really feel the change. So I recommend writing down everything that you like about yourself and everything that you don't like. What are your negative traits? Are you a little bit lazy? Do you eat something you shouldn't eat? Are you, do you procrastinate? Are you a little too shy and you wish you'd have a little more confidence? What are the things that you don't really like that you'd like to change? And what are the things that do matter to you that you don't want to change? Are your core essence values, and you want to make sure you don't ever lose that. You want to stay in line with that and stay true to that. But always be willing to consider, what can you take out? What can you change? Do you have to be shy and scared? Or can you be confident and bold? So write these down, get very clear on that, and then start visualizing. What would your ideal self look like? What would he or she wear? What would your hair look like? What would your job look like? Where would you sit? Where would you spend your time? Maybe what kind of house would you have, or car would you drive? What is the ideal version of yourself in every aspect? And then start living your life from that perspective. So I started thinking, what does future Lauren do? How does future Lauren do this? And I used to be a brunette. I did something very physical and I made my hair blonde, so that every time I looked in the mirror, I saw that I had changed into a new person. Old Lauren did things differently. New Lauren, she does things in a way that I like better. Now, will I always stay a blonde? No. But the point is, I did something very physical to announce to myself that there was change. And you'll see this with a lot of people. A lot of people change their hair when they're going through big changes. They grow it long or they cut it short. Maybe go out and get an outfit that says, this is the ideal me. This is what, future person looks like. Go and do something that's physical, that's going to remind you, something you're going to look at every single day. It's going to remind you that you are changing into the ideal version of yourself and the ideal version of your life. Then look at that list of things that you did and did not like about yourself. How can you translate that into daily habits, daily little things? If it's that you eat too many candy bars, can you just say, okay, future so-and-so does not eat the candy bars? What can you change slowly? Don't do it all at once, because if you do it all at once, it won't stick. It'll be a culture shock. I know that it's been maybe 2 or 3 years now to get to where I am now. But if I met my old self, I would be just completely shocked. You have to do it slowly. You have to take little steps. But if you don't take the little steps, you're never going to change. Your life is never going to change. And you're going to keep staying at that job you hate, or in that relationship that's just not quite so great, or whatever it is. There's something that has you here today. There's something that is blocking you, or you're going through a hard time, or you just want a little bit more. So whatever it is, get very clear on where you are now, where you want to be. Make some physical changes, make some habit changes. I I personally go by the Ayurvedic clock. So I rise with the sun and I go to sleep with it. So I try to wake up around 6 a.m. And they say different times of the day are better to do different things. So in the morning, you're more creative, or at least I'm more creative. I know some people say they're not morning people, but if you give yourself a good couple of months of trying this, going to sleep at around 10 p.m. or earlier, and getting up around 5:30, 6 a.m., there's different periods of sleep that you go through. You're going through like the REM cycles and things, and your brain is working through the different memories and situations that have happened in your life, and it's storing and organizing things. And so you're going through sleep cycles. And if you sleep past the 6 a.m. point, you start to go into another sleep cycle. And then you might even wake up tired. You might wake up at like 8 or 9 a.m. and you still feel tired. You actually, if you wake up earlier, you will feel more refreshed. And it's really good to get outside and just walk or jog, greet the day, and be more creative in the morning. So maybe you're going to journal or write or whatever it is that takes a little bit more energy, a little bit more thoughtfulness. And then, you might feel that 2 o'clock lull, but sometimes that's because of what you ate at lunch. Pay attention to, are you eating a lot of bread and sugars and things that are going to weigh you down, because you're going to feel that sugar crash. And the more that you are cutting out the bread and things, you're going to notice, you're going to see it. You're like, oh my gosh, I ate that sandwich and had all that bread and now I'm sleepy. And then you're just not quite your best self and you're not able to do your best work. So just be aware of what you're putting in, and then make sure that you're going to sleep early, and keep the cell phone out of the bedroom. I do not have the cell phone in my bedroom at night, because what does everybody do? They check Facebook, they check their emails, they check Instagram, and then they're having everybody else's thoughts and feelings and jokes and scary things and funny things and whatever it is. It's coming in your brain, and it's making a mess. And you're gonna see the blue light, which is gonna affect you on a physical level, and it's gonna keep you awake longer. But you also are gonna do that first thing in the morning. People look at their phones first thing in the morning, and it's just letting everybody else's thoughts into your head first thing in the morning, and that's just not the way to start the day. So put your phones outside the bedroom. If you use them for an alarm, just turn that alarm up. You'll be fine. We do it. It gets us up every morning, and we just have to get into the living room to turn it off. So these are some little recommendations of daily little habits that you can change. What are you eating for breakfast? What are you eating for lunch? What are you eating for dinner? And getting outside first thing in the morning if possible, and exercising. Do yoga, do some walking, go to the gym and lift weights, whatever it is that's your thing. But taking care of your body is taking care of your whole life. It's going to affect your business. It's going to affect everything. And if you think that they're separate, they're just not. Sometimes you have to take a step back in order to take 3 steps forward. So going and getting a massage and relaxing and disconnecting will actually make you better at your job. It will make you go faster if you rest and recover. Because what happens if you are at the gym and you just keep working out and you just keep lifting weights and you never give yourself a day to recover? You're going to tear a muscle. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to break down. So the people that are just go, go, go all the time, no pain, no gain, that philosophy, it will take you down. It will. It's not in balance, and nature and life loves balance. And what happened to me with the MS, I was out of balance. I kept going hard, and I was working. I did a job I hated, and it took me down literally onto the couch until I realized I had to de-stress. I had to do something that was calm, and I had to take care of myself and my body. And I was treating my body terribly. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't. I thought it was all fun and games going out and just drinking and partying and staying up late. But because I wasn't valuing my temple wasn't valuing me. So guys, I just want you to remember that I went through all these different hard things in life, and I came out on the other side. So whatever hardship you're going through right now, whatever it is that you want, that you're not quite there, you're going to reach it. If you just start making little changes, if you start just one step at a time, you're going to climb that mountain. We got to know what's at the top. You got to start being super clear with what is it that you want, where are you now, why don't you have it? What is it in your personality that you can change in who you are? and being okay with that. It's okay to change. It's okay to change certain things that you think are just part of your identity, but are they really? Do you want that to be a part of your identity? So get clear on what is it that you want to make sure you do keep and you are in alignment with, because it is who you truly are deep down. And what are things that you can just shed off, you know? It doesn't have to be who you are. You are free to move about the cabin. You are free to change your life at any point, change who you are, how you do things, who you show up as in the world, you know? So pull out that chair, take control, and just change your stars. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm Lauren Jane, and if you'd like to find out more, go to Streamline and Align on Facebook, and go be the change that you wish to see in your world.